Hello, everyone. Please take your seats. We'll be starting in 3 minutes.
I could never imagine the pain in the mother's heart when life takes a turn for the worse and creator's art becomes another canvas that will never be completed. I'm a few degrees away and 1,000 times defeated. My energy's depleted, but I wanna stand and fight, swinging with the spirits that have traveled back into the light. I feel the tears and depression, fears and aggression, woven in society from years of oppression. The violence is normalized, silence is horrifying, truth is denied, and the fact is that more are dying. You don't have to tell me how you feel, 'cause I can hear it in their cries.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to listen, but listen, 'cause it's much harder living it than listening to the hardships. So the heart's conditioned to condition the air. When the air, their conditions keep cool, but the more tears, sometimes it clear the vision. Not what I see, been a long time coming to drop, running, rocking, reaching new peaks, so them youngest can finally summit, climbing high above and then flying from it, up to the skies and overstanding the corruption and deconstructing the lies. I've seen this country decline, try to keep discussions confined, hide the underside, over extract and try to undermine. Damn, but I still believe in the truth. Whether it's an MC in the booth or a PhD in the suit. Yo, when we yell and protest, tell them the feeling is peaceful. We profess, we testify to the will of the people. Tell them what they must know. Turn it up loud when we bust flows, not in hushed tones. Speaking up, let the trust grow. Now you don't gotta tell me how you feel, 'cause I can see it in your eyes. You don't gotta tell me.
Hello, and welcome Next Generation to the Manito Ahbee Festival NextGen Youth Empowerment 2025. Please rise if you can. Please welcome your host for the 2025 NextGen Youth Empowerment, Tracy Leost, Inspire Youth Laureate, an award-winning young Métis leader, activist, and athlete from St. Laurent, Manitoba in Treaty 1 territory. Named one of Canada's most decorated Indigenous young people, Tracy upholds her responsibilities as an emerging matriarch by serving her people and ensuring that all Indigenous youth have opportunities to grow and flourish. Tracy holds a Bachelor of Social Work and is a Master of Education candidate at Nipissing University. And Sophia Smoke, Miss Manito Ahbee, is a proud member of the Dakota Plains Wapatu Nation in Manitoba. A passionate Dakota language advocate, she received the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Medal for her cultural work and the Westman Women of Distinction Award for personal achievement. She's been a CBC Kids Junior correspondent and was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for hosting CBC's Indigenous Futures Reclaiming Joy. A lifelong jingle dress dancer, she's graduating high school this June and plans to study political science or law at the University of Manitoba.
Tanshe Kia Wow. Good morning, everyone.
Chicana washte mi tak yapi. Dok dia unhe. How are we doing?
Wonderful. Help me give it up for Spirit Sense and our drummers for that amazing opening performance. Hello and welcome. Welcome Next Generation to Manito Ahbee Festival NextGen Youth Empowerment 2025. I'm Tracy Leost.
And I'm Sophia Smoke, also known as your Miss Manito Ahbee 2024 to 2025. And we are your hosts for what promises to be an unforgettable day of growth, inspiration, and action. Whether you're here to learn about the medicine wheel, to level up your leadership skills, to launch your next big idea, or just to find your voice, this space is for you.
And not just a space to listen and learn. NextGen is about a movement. It's about energy. It's about unlocking the leader, the dreamer, the change maker inside each and every one of you.
Today, you're going to get to hear from some powerful speakers and performers who were once in your shoes, dreaming big and wondering if they had what it takes. Spoiler alert, they did, they do, and so do you.
We've got some awesome change makers from across Turtle Island that'll spark new ideas, panels that'll challenge your perspective, and spaces to connect, collaborate, and create real change.
But before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. This isn't just about adults passing down wisdom, but about you standing up, speaking out, and owning your future.
Because NextGen isn't just a name. It's a movement. It's a statement. It's a challenge to the world to listen up. Because the next generation of leaders, artists, activators, and innovators is already here.
And they're brilliant, and they're bold, and they're ready to shake things up. That means you.
So take a deep breath. Feel the energy in the room. Look around at the faces beside you. You're not alone on this journey.
Because you're part of something powerful. You're part of NextGen.
So let's make today unforgettable.
Let's rise together.
Welcome to NextGen. So, to kickstart off our agenda, just a few housekeeping items. The washrooms are located on the east side of the hall, where you entered the building. And in case of an emergency, there are fire exits located in each of the 4 directions.
Where you are currently seated will be your assigned seating for the day, because we have an awesome, jam-packed agenda with speakers and performers from now till the end at 1 p.m.
Before we go any further, let's start in a good way. I would like to welcome Ernest and Kathy Daniels for our opening prayer song. If you are able, please rise, remove your headwear for NextGen's opening prayer.
Na 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 como que se bonito me was said be mate se when Yahweh ha che mo no se
Nina Wopira, Ernest, and Kathy Daniels for that opening song.
Now, before we go any further, I have the honor of introducing someone who wears many hats. Not just your co-host today, but a youth ambassador who honors memories of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. She is a proud advocate, a voice for Indigenous youth, someone who carries her title with grace and purpose. My wonderful co-host and our Miss Manito Ahbee 2025, Sophia.
Piramaya Tracy, and Wachiaki Kapiki Washte Mitakiapi. My name is Sophia Smoke, and I am deeply honored to stand before you all today as your Miss Manito Ahbee 2024 to 2025. Being here at NextGen is so powerful because it reminds me that every single one of us, no matter who we are or where we come from, has a voice and a story that deserves to be heard. As Indigenous youth and as young people, we carry the strength of our ancestors and a vision for the better future. When we walk in our truth, with pride in our identity and unity in our hearts, we can create real change. So today, I invite you to speak up, take space, be proud of who you are, because your light is needed and your time is now. Nina Paramaya, thank you.
Miigwech, merci. Thank you, Sophia, for those beautiful and powerful words. Your message is a reminder to all of us that leadership isn't just about speaking, it's about standing in your truth and lifting others up as you rise. We are so proud to have you here, not only as our co-host, but as Miss Manito Ahbee, bringing tradition, strength, and inspiration to every person in this room. Now, are you all ready to get our day started?
Because what's coming next is gonna light you up. We're talking inspiration, connection, Bannock, Nietzsche tacos, and more.
Yo, sorry. Ace Burpee here. I saw there was a microphone, so I just grabbed it. But I'm fired up, stoked to be here. This is an amazing, amazing room full of amazing, amazing people and lots of inspiration. Just so you know, you matter, your ideas matter, your passions matter, your dreams matter, and there's so much good in this room today, and I'm just so stoked to be here. I'm here to be inspired by you, but also because I was promised free snacks, and snacks are awesome. So let's go.
Ace, we love you. Thank you for always showing up for our youth, whether it's on the radio, in schools, or just like this, popping up out of literally nowhere with all the love and the hype.
Seriously, we're grateful to have people like you in this community who remind us that energy, kindness, and showing up really matters. Many of you in school are learning about Indigenous teachings. Today at NextGen, we're also going to use the medicine wheel to guide those lessons and our day. The medicine wheel gives us many teachings and represents many different things in our culture. It can guide us in taking part of your health, your mental, emotional, and physical selves. It leads us through each new season and shares important medicinal knowledge that guides our roles and responsibilities. NextGen, this is a movement. You are a movement. We have a movement happening here. Many of us young leaders have important things to talk about.
As young people, we have a responsibility to ensure that we keep our traditions alive and well. Many of our ancestors who are survivors stayed strong and alive, waiting for NextGen, that's you and me, to come along. They have carried our truth, and we have an obligation to meet them halfway. We owe them that. Our survivors held on to traditions, teachings, and ceremonies while they waited for us to come along and reclaim them. This obligation is to bring these sacred teachings, such as the medicine wheel, forward to our next gen. We cannot afford to lose these teachings. These teachings are what kept our ancestors alive, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be gathered here today.
Our teachings have taught us how to live in balance, happiness, and resilience. We must, with our spiritual beings, respect our physical bodies, develop mental fortitude, and use mental awareness. Finding balance in your life or within yourself might be as simple as prioritizing certain components of your day, restructuring your schedule, or taking time to fulfill your needs throughout the day. Finding balance can be done through simple steps, like by simple steps, or by making life-changing decisions. It is important to pay attention to how you are feeling, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because we live balanced and healthy lives when all of the pieces of us are in harmony and balance with each other.
NextGen, we have invited strong, resilient, trailblazing leaders that are local here in and around our community in Manitoba that have been making some powerful impacts within our people. And to any reconnecting Michis out there, remember that there is no right or wrong way to use the medicine wheel as a teaching in your lives. And if our teachings are different than yours, it doesn't mean one is necessarily right or wrong, because there is room for all of our teachings in the circle.
The red quadrant represents the beginning, the place of sunrise, new life, and awakening. It's the energy of newborns, of vision, and of potential. It's about possibility, where we begin to see the world through fresh eyes, filled with hope and purpose. How perfect that is where we are starting our day at NextGen, in the direction of new beginnings. All right, NextGen, are you ready to hear from someone who embodies true leadership, strength, and the power of youth in action?
Our first speaker is not just a role model, but a groundbreaker. And at just 25 years old, she made history as the youngest female chief in Manitoba.
Yeah, give it up. She's someone I adore, admire, and respect. She's the proud member of Birdtail Sioux Dakota Nation, an advocate for youth, and a voice for justice, culture, and community.
She shows us what it's like when a young woman leads with tradition, courage, and a vision, creating change not just for her nation, but for all of us.
So please, help me, NextGen, give your full energy and respect to the incredible Chief Treshelle Bunn.
Treshelle Bunn is the first woman and youngest person ever elected chief of Birdtail Sioux Dakota Nation and one of the youngest serving chiefs in Canada. She graduated with distinction from the University of Manitoba with a bachelor's degree in criminology and a minor in Indigenous Studies. She is now pursuing a law degree at Robson Hall, the Faculty of Law at the University of Manitoba. A dedicated advocate for Indigenous rights and youth empowerment, Treshelle has spoken on provincial, national, and international stages, including at the United Nations. She is the founder of the Reconciliation Run, Canada's first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation half marathon, and the creator of the first Indigenous Student-Athlete Scholarship at the University of Manitoba. Her leadership and advocacy have been recognized with numerous honors, including the King Charles III Coronation Medal, the CBC Manitoba Future 40 Award, the University of Manitoba Outstanding Young Alumni Award, and receiving the 2025 First Nations Youth Inspire Award.
Good morning, NextGen. I am so honored and so thrilled to be your first keynote speaker out of an outstanding lineup of fellow young Indigenous people leading the way for people like you and me, and truly for all of us. So without further ado, I'll share my story with you, and you'll learn a little bit more about my journey to how I got to where I am today. And how I integrate the medicine wheel teachings into my life. So as introduced, I'm a proud citizen of Bertel Sioux Dakota Nation, also the newly elected chief of my community. Although I didn't grow up in my community, I grew up in a very small town in the southeastern corner of the province called Wampum, Manitoba. You can hardly find it on a map, so if you haven't heard of it, no worries. But growing up, I was always very connected to my community. From a very young age, my dad instilled in me to be proud of who I am, be proud of my people, and to be proud of where I come from. So I spent a lot of my summers growing up in Birdtail at my Cushy and cause. My grandparents racing up and down the hills in the valley in my community with my cousins and dancing in our community's powwow. So I feel very fortunate that from a young age, although I didn't grow up in my community, that I was able to have that connection with my community and all my relatives. I graduated from the University of Manitoba in 2023. As introduced, I graduated with my Bachelor of Arts degree in criminology, a minor in Indigenous studies. And for me, that was a really big moment for me and my family because I was the first in my family to earn a university degree. So navigating, the post-secondary institution as a first-generation student, first generation to graduate from post-secondary, was a huge responsibility, but it was a great honor for my family and community when I graduated in 2023. And amazingly, I was accepted to law school right after graduation. So in the fall of 2023, I began my first year of law school at Robson Hall, which is the Faculty of Law at the University of Manitoba. And I just finished up my second year, and it overlapped a little bit when I was elected chief of my community. So the last couple of weeks have been pretty jam-packed for me, but I'm so grateful to be in this space with you here today. Another huge part of my story is I was the former youth chief of the Southern Chiefs organization, and I'm still getting used to saying that I'm the former youth chief. So I was so used to always introducing myself as one of the youth chiefs of the Southern Chiefs organization. So I finished my term as SCO youth chief on March 31st, where we elected a new SCO youth chief, female youth chief Lacey Bird, male youth chief. We elected male youth chief Billy Bird from Peguis. Anyone from Peguis? Yeah? No? Yeah. So it was a great honor to pass on that role to such amazing fellow young people. And I have to give a shout out to the Southern Chiefs organization for the way that they empower and uplift our youth. And I think my experience as SCO youth chief really kind of led me onto the journey I am today as a leader, an advocate, and as an activist. And as also mentioned in my introduction, with SCO and my role as SCO youth chief, I had the opportunity to go and attend and speak at the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland. So I extend my heartfelt gratitude to SCO, Grand Chief Jerry Daniels, for their support in my leadership journey. So I guess this is maybe the big news that's kind of been surrounding me lately. But I'll tell you all the story of how I got to this point today. So about 2 years ago now, I was approached by some elders in my community, some community members, and they said, we have an election coming up. It's going to happen around April 2025, and we want you to put your name forward and run for chief. And I remember being very taken aback, and maybe I was a little bit shocked, and I didn't know what to respond at first. But I remember having a conversation with my dad when I was quite young, and I was very inquisitive, people would always say. I was always asking questions, maybe like a lot of you. And I remember asking my dad, how does someone become the chief? And what he shared with me was that when it's your time, your people will call upon you. So when I was talking with my family and I said, you know, some elders in our community and community members are asking me to run for chief, my dad told me, well, then it's your time. And as fate would have it, the nominations for chief and council in my community happened this year on March 3rd, 2025, which also happened to be my 25th birthday. So it was very storybook fashion, and the days really flew by from that point. And on April 10th, to my excitement and to my honor, I was elected chief of my community. And throughout the campaign, I really realized how historic and how important not even the win was for myself, but even for my community. It was the first time that we've elected a female chief. It was the first time that we elected a young person to be chief. And I share that, and even in my introduction, it says that I'm the youngest chief in Manitoba, maybe one of the youngest chiefs in all of Canada. And I think that really is an accomplishment for all of us, for all of you. It's a shared accomplishment. It's a testament that young people like you and me are here. And I think it's so powerful how our co-hosts spoke and opened up today. The way Tracy and Sophia said, the next gen is here and we've arrived. And something that I often said as youth chief was that as young people, we're not just the change makers, the trailblazers, the leaders, the glass ceiling breakers of tomorrow. We're all of those things today. So my message to you is that you're a leader today, and if I can do it, so can you. Another big part of who I am is a hockey player. So I started skating in my backyard. My dad built me a backyard rink when I was just 3 years old, and ever since then, I've loved the sport of hockey. That feeling of cutting into the ice and taking that first stride has been therapeutic to me throughout my entire life. And I quote my dad a lot, so he gets a lot of attention when I speak, but another thing he told me from a young age was that you have to find something good. You have to find a healthy outlet. He said, whatever it is, it has to be positive and healthy, and it's going to be the thing that helps you stay balanced on the 4 quadrants of the medicine wheel: physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So for me, that's always been hockey. And throughout my life, it's been movement, and even up until this point, no longer playing hockey, maybe competitively, any sort of movement and physical activity has been my way to stay balanced on the 4 quadrants of the medicine wheel. So that leads me to the reconciliation run. So pictured here are my 2 grandparents, so my Coochie Mildred and my Uncle Donald. Much like many of your grandparents or parents or great-grandparents, they were survivors of the Birtle Residential School. And growing up, I heard their stories and what they endured at the Birtle Residential School. And something that my uncle, my grandfather Donald, told me when I was quite young was that when he was at the Birtle Residential School, he wanted nothing more than to just run away and go home. So the town of Birtle and my community, Birdtail, is roughly 21, 26 kilometers apart. So I remember driving to the town of Birtle and getting groceries with my family growing up, and the Birtle Residential School is still standing in the town of Birtle. So kind of rewind to May 2021 when the news hit about the 215 unmarked graves in Kamloops. It was a resurfacing and a re-traumatization for many of our peoples and communities. And I realized that there was great hurt in my community, especially for our elders and survivors, and those who endured that trauma, directly, intergenerationally. And I thought to myself, what could I do to help my community heal? And that's kind of when the idea came. I said, well, if healing and movement has been medicine for me and a way for me to stay balanced, what can I do to share that with my community, with my family, with my relatives, and maybe even with the world? So I spoke with my family, I spoke with some elders in my community, leadership in my community at the time, and I said, on July 1st, 2021, the Cancel Canada Day movement was very big at the time. I said, why don't we go back to the Birtle Residential School and run and walk home in honor of not only my own call and his wishes, but all survivors and all of those who never made it home across Turtle Island. So on July 1st, 2021, that's exactly what we did. And I remember being blown away, and it was something that I originally thought was just gonna be for my family and community. And I remember walking up to the front lawn of the Birtle Residential School that day and being blown away by seeing members of my community with strangers that I had never seen before in a sea of orange. And as we all walked back to my community of Birdtail that day, I learned that it was the first time that a lot of survivors in my community had ever been back to the Birtle Residential School since they were forcibly taken there. And once we made it back, we had a feast in my community and a time of sharing and storytelling. And it was also the first time that a lot of elders and survivors were publicly sharing their story. And it wasn't until a stranger who had come to what we were calling a healing walk made a comment to me and said, the distance that we walked today from the Birtle Residential School back to Birdtail, is the distance of a half marathon. And although I'm a hockey player, I've never been a big runner, so I didn't know what the distance of a half marathon was, but it's 21.1 kilometers exactly. And I said, well, why don't we turn this into an annual thing? We'll change it from July 1st to September 30th. We'll call it the Reconciliation Run, and we'll make sure that the conversation around residential schools, honoring survivors, educating non-Indigenous peoples on the harms and the intergenerational trauma and the ongoing impacts of this system continues. So that's what brought us to the Reconciliation Run. We'll be entering our 4th year this coming September, and we've united hundreds of people from all across Turtle Island in reconciliation and action. And I think, it's had an amazing impact in my community on our elders and survivors. But I also noticed that there's been a very significant impact as well on non-Indigenous people. So for a lot of non-Indigenous people, they tell me it's the first time they see your residential school in person. We start with a pipe ceremony from an elder and survivor and have them share their story before the run begins. And it's the first time they're hearing directly from a survivor. And it's the first time they're on a First Nation in the land now known as Canada. So it's a very educational opportunity for a lot of non-Indigenous people. It's very healing for a lot of our relatives. And honestly, from the Reconciliation Run, what really began as an idea, and it started as a little Facebook post, has really grew into something so beautiful and unimaginable. So last year we partnered with Under Armour Canada, and they provided a brand new pair of running shoes to every young person in my community. And I think even more exciting as well, all the proceeds from the Reconciliation Run are now going to the University of Manitoba's very first scholarship for Indigenous student athletes to really speak to how powerful sport is as a tool for reconciliation. And I could really talk about all of this all day with all of you, and I would love nothing more, but I see our time's running out, so I'll be wrapping it up here. So in the slide here that I have is some amazing opportunities that I've had to be a part of reconciliation initiatives, women in sports initiatives with the Winnipeg Jets, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Winnipeg Sea Bears. And I think these are things that, as a young girl, looking back at pictures of myself, I never could have imagined for myself. I never really pictured myself becoming, the first in my family to graduate university. I never really pictured myself actually being able to go to law school. I definitely never imagined that I would be elected as the first female chief of my community and be one of the youngest chiefs in Canada. But I think that's happened when you are proud of yourself, when you're proud of your identity, when you're proud of where you come from. And it's what happens when you find something positive to keep your medicine wheel balanced. So I said it earlier, but my message to you, to all today, is that whether it's hearing from me or other amazing keynote speakers that you're going to be hearing from, if any of our messages resonate with you, I just want you to know, as our co-hosts have said, if we can do it, so can you. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime on Instagram or email. I would love to connect with young people, and I'm so proud of you for all being here today, and I know you're all going to do amazing, great things. Whoop-a-da.
Wow. Can we just take a moment to let that soak in? Marcy Miigwech, thank you, Chief Treshal Bunn, for a powerful message and for showing us what leadership looks like when it's rooted in courage, culture, and community.
Honestly, hearing her speak, as a young Dakota woman, as a leader, as someone who's unapologetically herself, that's inspiring in ways that go way beyond her title.
Exactly. She's living proof that you don't have to wait to lead. You don't need to be older or more qualified. We all figure it out. You need to just step up the exact way she did.
What hit me most is how she carries her nation with her everywhere she goes. Those are the kind of leaders we need, the ones that take their people with them as they rise.
So, to all the young people here today, if you saw a little bit of yourself in her story, or in ours, hold on to that. That's your spark, and don't let it go.
And wana ke nina piramaya atancha we ichepanshi Treshal Bunn. Thank you, Chief Treshal Bunn, for reminding us that our voices matter and our time is now.
Yeah, absolutely. That deserves a round of applause. So let's keep that energy going, because we are really just getting started.
Up next, we're going to start with something.
Sorry, I confiscated my mic, and then I found another one. And Treshal, you are amazing. But I was just like, I don't know. Treshal, you are unbelievable. And I was just thinking, you look around the room and look at the people that are sitting beside you, behind you, and we're all from different families, different types of families, different ages, different backgrounds, different stories, but we all share one thing in common today, and that is we showed up. It's not how many you win, it's how many you show up for. You showed up. You showed up for, that's right, you showed up for your school, for your friends, for all your amazing educators who, shout out, you're unbelievable. All the teachers, educators in the room right now, we love you so, so much. You showed up. You showed up for your community, and most importantly, you showed up for yourself. So if there's even one thing that ignites a passion today or a spark, I'm just saying, chase it.
At this point, Ace, you're not even interrupting us. You're leveling us up. Thanks for that.
Okay, I think I'm done for now, though. But I keep finding microphones, and it's awesome. Okay, bye.
And to all of you, take what Ace said to heart. Keep showing up and keep leaning in.
Now, can we get to the next part of the program?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, NextGen. Are you ready for something special? Love it.
We are beyond excited to introduce you to the next part of our program because it comes straight from here in the heart of northern Manitoba.
All the way from St. Teresa Point First Nation, please join us in welcoming a talented young artist who brings together storytelling, culture, and music in a way that truly moves the soul.
He's a gifted singer and guitarist, and he's here to remind us how powerful our voices and our art can be when we use them to express who we are.
He is my favorite artist. So please, make some noise and show all of your love to Baron May from St. Teresa Point.
His soulful voice soothes and soars with passion beyond his years. Singer-songwriter Baron May is from St. Teresa Point, Anishinaabe Nation, Treaty 5 territory, and grew up on the Manitoban Reserve surrounded by music. That's when he learned the power and spirit of song and learned traditional teachings that he carries to this day. Although he's only 17 years old, he's already gaining notoriety. His fan base is expanding, and his demand for live performances is rapidly increasing. In 2024, he opened up for popular Canadian band Mariana's Trent, and also delighted listeners and attendees with a performance during a welcome reception at an Inspire Awards gathering in the late fall. Baron was also selected as one of 4 emerging Canadian artists to be featured on Amazon Music's Northern Echoes series, being released in 2025. In the beginning, he took inspiration from artists like Hozier and Chris Stapleton and has grown exponentially into his own flavor, charting his own path with intent and purpose to honor his family and friends, those he calls home.
Good morning, guys. Are you guys having a good morning? That's good, because I am too. Even though I just woke up. Yeah. So, I'd like to thank NextGen for inviting me back here. I was here last year, and I really enjoyed it last year, and I hope I enjoy it more this time, as there's more people here. But yeah, but this song is called Smoke, that I'll be singing. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
watch it go up in smoke. This world is smaller, you stand through the door.
Oh, smoke. There you go. So this next song I'll be doing is a cover. It's by Tyler Chowers, Lady May. So I really love this song. Really reminds me of back home. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well.
I'm a stone's throw from the mill, and I'ma go up to the river. My working days will go swim my cares away. Put your toes down in the water, and a smile across your face, and tell me that you love me. Now I ain't the toughest chisel that your axe has ever felt. I'ma love you just as well till the road is caught on. I've seen my share of trouble, and I've held my weight in shame. But I'm baptized in your name, lovely Lady May. Oh, the wind can leave you shivering as you walk to the leaves, burning into my angel, to my lovely Lady May. Now I ain't the toughest hickory that your axe has ever felt, but I'ma love you just as well till the road is caught on. I've seen my share of trouble, and I've held my weight in shame. But I'm baptized in your name, lovely Lady May.
Alright. Take it, take it. I kind of messed up that song, but yeah, it still sounded good. But I don't know how much minutes I have left, but this last song is called Maria, and it'll be releasing on Amazon pretty soon. Pretty soon it'll be out on Amazon towards the end of the month. So I hope you guys check that out and make me some money. Oh yeah, this next song is called Lady Me.
Sunset rise on the waves of the hurricane tides. Well, the valley turns back in night. Go to sleep tight and catch your lover a good night. Know you like I used to lead to fights. Love it out loud, cherishing these beautiful nights. Well, I go to by and by. Oh, Maria, Maria, laughing it away. Oh, Maria, Maria, dancing it away. I remember the mornings where we go out, try to play. I remember waking up in the morning to go to church to pray. Oh, Maria, Maria, laughing it away. Oh, Maria, Maria, dancing it away. Never knew someone like you. You're the prettiest I've ever seen. Virgin great in my mind, stone cold turning into dance. Oh, Maria, Maria, laughing it away. Oh, Maria, Maria, dancing it away. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Rich, I hope you guys have a beautiful morning, and thank you.
Do you see now why he's my favorite artist? Good. So let's give it up one more time for Baron May, the incredibly talented youth from St. Teresa Point.
Guys, that wasn't just a performance, but that was a moment and a story in and of itself and just a heartbeat.
Exactly. It's one thing to sing or play an instrument, but what we just witnessed was something much deeper. It's a connection to land, to language, to identity. It's culture in motion.
Baron, you carry your voice with humility and power, and you remind us that music is more than entertainment. It's medicine and it's healing.
For many Indigenous youth, art isn't a hobby. It's survival, it's resistance, it's reclaiming space. And watching Barron up here doing what he loves to do with pride and poise, he gave us so much more than just a song.
And honestly, this is what NextGen is all about, creating space for young people to express who they are in ways that move the rest of us to listen and learn.
So thank you, Miigwech Barron, and to thank you to each of the youth who stand with you and support you. You didn't just perform, you really taught us something new.
And we'll carry that with us throughout the rest of the day and hopefully even farther. Ina Piramaya. Thank you, Barron.
What an incredible way to begin our day together. Music, story, spirit, woven together by youth, for youth.
And as we move forward, we want to take a moment to reflect on something deeply rooted in our Indigenous teachings, the medicine wheel.
The yellow quadrant, which traditionally represents the east, the direction of the rising sun. It's about new journeys, it represents youth, illumination, and vision. The yellow quadrant teaches us about hope, clarity, and stepping into your power with purpose.
And that's exactly what our next speaker embodies. He's someone who has walked that path of hope and resilience, not just for himself, but for his community. He's the co-founder of Initiative, a grassroots movement dedicated to empowering Indigenous youth through culture, education, and self-determination. From organizing youth walks to raise awareness about mental health, identity, and community pride, he leads with heart and always makes space for the others to rise.
He's a warrior in sneakers, but I think maybe today it's boots. A knowledge keeper, a brother to many young people across Turtle Island, and someone that I was fortunate to be named CBC's Future 40 with in 2022.
Please join us in welcoming to the stage Riley Nipinak.
Riley Nepanak is a proud Anishinaabe who grew up off reserve in Winnipeg's North End and is a member of Saging First Nation in Treaty 1 territory. Riley is one of the co-founders of Initiative, a grassroots community organization that connects Indigenous youth to land-based education, inner-city cultural and mental wellness opportunities, motivated by a state of emergency in Kaskaskiwakw Cree Nation. Nepanak cycled across Canada, raising money and promoting awareness about Indigenous youth suicide. Nepanak finished his journey in 40 days. Riley has also been involved in supporting relatives experiencing houselessness by means of coordinating the community warming teepees at the Thunderbird House every winter. The efforts of which help lead to the beginning stages of an Indigenous-led warming space for houseless relatives called Indinawemak, practicing lateral kindness, reclaiming identity, promoting Indigenous youth voices are the driving forces behind Riley's mission here on Turtle Island.
Well, hello everybody. Hope you're feeling really good. Hope you're healthy, happy, and if you're not feeling so good, well then we want to send good feelings and good thoughts your way. First and foremost, I just want to say I'm truly humbled and grateful to be standing here in front of each and every one of you today. If you would have asked me, do I see myself doing this like years ago, I wouldn't have given you this answer. And so I'd like to acknowledge, all the helpers for NextGen that have put together this event. I'd like to acknowledge the beautiful singers, the dancers, and all the speakers before and after me, And then I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of you in the crowd. We give yourself a pat on the back. We got through a really tough year, when we're able to come here today. The Thunderbirds came and the rain came when we really needed it. There's a lot of forest fires going on right now due to climate change, and the rain came just when we really needed it. And, we're here today to be able to kind of celebrate together, and that alone, is really good medicine. And, you know, my bio, it kind of covered a lot, you know, about who I am and the work that I do in my community. I'm a helper, a community organizer, and you know, I cycled across Canada in 2021 to raise awareness for Indigenous youth suicide. And you know, now I'm coming here today to come and speak, and we're talking about the medicine wheel. And the part of the medicine wheel that I wanted to talk about is tobacco. And I wanted to talk about tobacco, not all the sacred teachings, I'll leave that to the elders, but I wanted to talk about how tobacco saved my life. I wanted to share a story about how tobacco saved my life. You know, our ancestors told us to use it, to put it down, to pass it, you know, and when we do that with this tobacco, beautiful things happen. So I'll take you back 2 years ago. I was sitting at home, and it was about a year after the bike ride, and I had recovered physically, and I got a phone call. And it was this First Nation community called Manawin, just north of Montreal. And this community called me because they were putting together a team. They got 7 Indigenous women to light sacred fires in all the First Nation communities from Montreal to Hudson's Bay, across the northern tundra to Labrador, and back down. It was a 5,000-kilometer journey. They were calling it the longest snowmobile route in the world. And they were calling me to ask if I wanted to represent Manitoba and join this expedition. And so I agreed to do it. Of course I'm going to do this. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But there was one problem. Prior to that, I had never been on a snowmobile in my life. You know, so you can see my pickle here. I had a couple months to prepare. It wasn't enough time. You know, I flew over to Manawin, and I was ready and eager to learn on the fly, you know, how to ride a snowmobile, how can I do my best to represent Manitoba. You know, and I won't lie, the first couple days, it looked rough. You know, I'm surrounded by experienced riders they're gliding across frozen lakes and rivers, they're whipping around trees, going through mountains on their snowmobile. And then there's me, I'm just like trying not to die. You know, I was just, you know, so the first few days were really hard. And it was the 5th day where I got into trouble. On the 5th day, so the way we were like organized on this expedition, you know, we were split up into groups. And each group had a sled of all the supplies, all the gas, you know, fire starter, everything you needed to survive in case of an emergency. Well, on the 5th day, I didn't have the sled attached to my snowmobile, and on that day, things went sideways. Somehow, some way, in the middle of nowhere, I found myself on the wrong path. And I didn't know it at first. I was riding around on my snowmobile. I kept peeking behind me. Oh, when's the next guy gonna, you know, come up? You know, and I didn't see anyone. You know, and so I parked my machine. I waited. Nobody showed up. I said, okay, this isn't good. So I backtraced. I went to the last spot I saw anybody, and I had about 3 hours of gas on my machine. You know, I was really cold. You know, in those temperatures, when it gets dark, it gets as low as -60, -65. You know, and so at that point, you know, I can't really feel my fingers, I can't really feel my toes, you know, and I gotta find my team. And so I spent the next 2.5 hours looking in every path I could find, all directions. I was trying to find a trace of their snowmobiles, but I couldn't find anything. And it was getting dark, and I was getting cold, and I was hungry too, to top it all off. So I backtraced. I went for a final time to the place where I last seen anybody. And I had about 45 minutes left on my machine of gas. It was dark, and again, I was cold. I didn't know what to do. And so I pulled out my phone. I looked at my phone. I was at 2% battery on my phone. And honest to God, I started recording. And I said my goodbyes on my phone. I said my I love yous to my friends and family because honest to God, I didn't know if this would be the last time anyone would hear from me. So I said all that on my phone. I still have that video saved here today, but I'm not showing anybody. And so I was panicking, but also trying to keep my composure. And in that moment, I reached into my pocket, and I had some tobacco on me. I had tobacco on me. And I did what I was taught. I put my hands together and I prayed. And I'm telling you, I prayed harder than I've ever prayed in my life. I prayed like my life depended on it. And I remember in my prayer, I said, Creator, just give me a sign. And I put that tobacco down. And I had started my machine, and I decided that I was going to try another direction. I was going to try another path. And so with 30 minutes left of gas on my machine, I went down this path. And right away on this path, I saw a bird sitting on the ground, right in the middle. And he was looking at me. He was looking right at me. And as I rode closer to him, he didn't move. And that bird just kept looking at me. And so I came up closer. He flew away. And I thought to myself, maybe this is a sign. I'm going to keep going down this path. I'm going to accept the fate, whatever it is. So riding in the pitch black darkness, I went down this path with the rest of my gas. And honest to God, I had about 5 minutes left of gas. I couldn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my fingers. But I saw a light. Right in the trees, I saw a light. And as I came closer, I saw it was attached to a structure. And I came closer and closer, and I could see it was a tiny cabin in the woods, middle of nowhere. And I pulled up to this cabin, and in every horror movie you watch, you don't go to the cabin stranded in the woods. You just don't do that. But I couldn't even walk at this point. I was so cold. I had no choice. And so I came up to that cabin, and I knocked on the door. And they opened up the door. It was an old man. And he looked at me. And he was like completely shook. Couldn't believe what he was seeing. He couldn't believe that I was there. And I told him the situation I was in. And he helped me. He helped me. He said, come in, come in, come in. He told me, you're so lucky because there's nothing for another 80 kilometers out here. You're lucky you found me. And that old man had a radio. And so I was able to use that radio to get a hold of my team. And at that point, they were worried. They already had been looking for me, and they were able to send a rescue team to come and get me, So returning to my team the next day, they gave me a choice. They said, you can go home, because you've been through a lot, or you could continue this journey. And I'm not gonna lie, there was part of me that wanted to quit, that wanted to give up. You know, you have those thoughts in your head that come in sometimes, those negative thoughts that, you know, you're not good enough. I wanted to quit, you know, but I wanted to represent, you know, Manitobans in a good way. You know, I wanted to represent my Anishinaabe people in a good way, you know. And I told them that I'm determined to stay on this journey. And the next days following, something really beautiful happened. You know, all those aunties and uncles that I was riding with, they took pity on me. You know, one by one, each of them came up to me and they were giving me a pair of gloves, you know, or they saw my boots weren't good enough, so they gave me a better pair of boots. You know, they saw my goggles weren't good enough, so they gave me a new pair of goggles. They took pity on me and took care of me once they knew I was serious. You know, and then it dawned on me. I felt this deja vu. I thought about our ancestors, you know, hundreds of years ago when they were traveling all across the land together. You know, and you were a young person, you needed to be able to keep up with the tribe. You needed to be able to pull your own weight, even when things got hard. You know, but your aunties and uncles, they take care of you. You know, they make sure that no one's left behind. And I felt that connection. I felt it there, you know. And I almost cried how deep that connection felt, you know. And 21 days later, 5,000 kilometers, we finished that journey, you know. And I think about that tobacco that I put down. You know, I think about that. It saved my life. You know, and that's what I wanted to come and share with each and every one of you, is to use your tobacco. Go and pass it to that elder. Go pass it to that knowledge keeper. You know, get your name, get your clan. You know, if you're struggling, you know, go put that tobacco out. You know, or if you're looking for something new in your life, put that tobacco out, you know, or do what I did this morning. I knew I had to come and speak here in front of each and every one of you, so I put tobacco down, you know, so that I could speak some sense, you know, something makes sense with what I'm trying to say, you know, so I encourage that, you know, use your tobacco. And, you know, with my closing statements, like I mentioned before, I'm part of an organization called Initiative, and our whole mission is just connecting youth to their culture, connecting them to different elders, to therapists. It's a dream come true that I can be a part of that kind of work, because growing up in the North End, I grew up disconnected from all of that. And so I want to encourage you to find us on social media. You can follow us at Initiative. You know, we're located in the North End. Our Urban Friendship Center is at 366 McGregor Street. You know, so I encourage you to come if you want to meet other like-minded youth who are trying to find their identity. You know, you want to come learn something. Come find us. You know, come pass tobacco. You know, and so I wanted to share that story with you guys today. I've never shared that story publicly in this setting before, you know, but it means a lot for me to be able to come and speak here and have your eyes and ears here. So with that, I want to say Mitakuasin. I'll say Kakinan Dinue Maganak, acknowledge all our relations, and say Apachi Miigwech. Thank you to each and every one of you.
Please join me in showing Riley a little bit more love. Miigwech, Riley, thank you.
Riley, thank you for showing us that grassroots change doesn't start with big systems. It starts with one voice, one step, and one heart willing to stand up for community.
Your words carried so much truth. You reminded us that healing doesn't happen overnight. Maybe it happens deep in the woods when you're freezing cold. But it also begins when we reconnect with our culture, with our land, and most importantly, with each other.
What hit me personally was how we spoke about walking with purpose, how every action, no matter how small, can build momentum. That's something every young person in this room can take home with them today.
Yes. And the way you blend humility with strength, that's leadership. That's medicine. Riley is showing us how to lead in a way that is rooted and not performative.
Initiative is more than a movement, it's a mirror, reminding us of who we are and what we're capable of. Your journey is a reflection of the yellow quadrant, the rise of youth, the spark of new beginnings, and the light of knowledge.
To every young Indigenous person here today, or every young person in general, if Riley's story moved something in you, don't ignore that. Let it be your invitation to step into your own power, just like he did.
Riley, thank you again for your teachings, your presence, and for walking with your people, not ahead of them.
Chimigwech Riley, keep shining that light. We see you, we honor you, and we walk with you. Now that we've heard these powerful words from Riley,
and taken in the teachings of the yellow quadrant.
So sorry. So sorry. I found another microphone under the bleachers over here. Riley, you're a real one. He's one of my boys. Love you, Riley. Also, oh my gosh, wrote it down. Baron May, that was the dude who was singing and playing guitar. That is an incredible voice, bro. You are unbelievable. Massive talent, Baron May. Remember that name, everyone. It's like if you took the best parts of Chris Stapleton, Jelly Roll, William Prince, and Post Malone and made a new hybrid star. You got yourself Baron May, the best. Today is like there's just so many moments, right? So many moments. And so if you're like, well, what can I do? The answer is a lot. You can do something small. You can do something ridiculous, something bold. You can be kind. You can be loud. And no one's asking you, the world isn't asking you to be perfect. In fact, perfection is severely overrated. It's just asking you that you show up.
It sounds like you're turning this thing into a whole movement again, Ace.
I guess always, but it's like this generation is built different, and different is good. And you listen more, and you care more deeply, and you show up for each other.
and you show up for them, Ace, a little bit extra in your
A little
own
bit
Ace
awkward.
kind of way.
A little bit awkward, but with love. This is the best day. I love it.
Yeah, we'll never complain about an Ace interruption. Thank you for that reminder.
All right, NextGen, let's keep it going. How's everyone feeling?
We've heard powerful stories, music, teachings, and truth, and now we want to journey to another part of the medicine wheel.
The black quadrant represents the West, the direction of reflection, strength, and facing the unknown. It's where we begin to look inward, where we carry our experiences and lessons and begin to transform them into wisdom.
It's also the place of healing and renewal, where our shadows meet our strengths and where culture, ceremony, and identity become our medicine.
And there is no better way to honor that than by learning about something that has been a source of strength and identity for generations of Indigenous people. Pow Wow.
Pow Wow is more than just a dance. It's storytelling, it's family, it's community. It's where songs carry history and movement becomes prayer.
Today, we are honored to introduce Pow Wow 101, an interactive and uplifting session where we'll learn the meaning behind the dances, regalia, the songs, and the steps that connect us to spirit and to each other.
So whether it's your first time learning or you've had POW with you your entire life, this is a space of respect, curiosity, and celebration.
So, get ready to move, learn, and feel the heartbeat of the drum.
Please welcome our amazing POW 101 host, Dekshi Michael Esquash, with the Spirit Sand Singers and dancers to the floor. Please give them all the energy and the respect that they deserve.
Mino gizigan gakinan snabag. Nina way makade Mr. Tim Makwado Tim Gabashkigamag Donji. Anybody know what I just said? I said hello. No, just kidding. I said good morning, everybody. Good morning, NextGen. Good morning, people. We are excited to be here this morning with you to showcase our dancers and our dance styles. We are going to have some fun. We are going to explain what they do, and we hope you enjoy and learn from what we do here today. My name is Michael Esquire Sr. I'm your host, and I'm very honored to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to showcase these dancers we have around the stage here, and then we're going to talk about each dance category and showcase their moves. We are always going to start with our ladies first, of course. So we're going to move on over here to Jordan Sullivan. Come on up here. This is our, give her a round of applause. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Jordan is dancing what we call in the language, Ogichitakwe ni Mead. When translated to English, it is the jingle dress dance. This dance comes from by way of the Lake of the Woods area in Ontario, and this dance is a healing dance. It is an honoring dance. Most of the dances you see here today originated from ceremony. They originated from very important things that we do for our people. This dress here, they say, is a healing dress. And what is important about this dress? It is not the dress itself, but the sound it makes. And you'll hear it when she dances here. And we will showcase her and her style. We also want to introduce our singing group. We have Spirit Sand Singers in the house. Give them a round of applause. Right on, right on. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to Jordan Sullivan and Ladies Jingle Dress. Let's give Jordan a round of applause. Ladies Jingle Dress Dancer. Right on, Jordan. And again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, every one of our dances has a story, has a history. You know, we don't do things just because. There is always reason behind what we do. And like I said, each of these dancers here, you know, they have been dancing pretty much all their lives. They started when they were little children. And again, you know, we don't really, well, nowadays they do, they have classes and stuff. But a long time ago, we never told our children how to learn. They learned from example. And it was our responsibility as adults to be good role models and to be good teachers. Right on, Jordan. We're going to move on down over here to Lennon Paskaman. I apologize, Lennon. She's our women's fancy shawl dancer. We're going to bring her up here. She's from Sweetgrass First Nation, Saskatchewan. Let's give her a round of applause. And she is what we call in the language Memingwa ni Mead, or it translates to butterfly dance, which we now call the women's fancy shawl dance. This dance here is one that showcases true natural beauty of life, of nature, of our women. And again, it's always based upon respect. If you ever notice, our outfits, they're very conservative. The women, they're always covered from the neck all the way to the ground. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important because that shows and teaches us self-respect and how to honor our women in a true, respectful way. Now, this dance here is one of agility, speed, and let me tell you, you got to be in shape to do this dance. Round is a shape like me, but not that kind of shape. Like that kind of. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to our women's fancy shawl dance. Spirit Sands, if you would. If you like what you see, put your hands together. Let's hear it for Lennon. Woo! Beautiful. Thank you very much. Next dancer we're going to bring up here is a good friend of mine. I've known her for many years. Her name is Shanley Spence, and she is one of our hoop dancers. Let's give her a round of applause. This dance here, the hoop dance, is a dance that originated, they say, from ceremony. You see, a long time ago as First Nations people, we didn't have hospitals or health centers like we do today. We didn't have doctor house call like they do today. We had to rely on ourselves, our prayer, our belief, and our faith. We relied on Kinamamake, Mother Earth, for everything, including medicines, food, you name it. But they say that prayer has always been an important part of our nation and our people. And this dance was one of those healing dances. When you see Shanley will dance with these hoops, she will make certain shapes and objects. You may see an animal, you may see a flower, you may see the world. But this dance here is a healing dance, and they would utilize this when people were sick and needed help back in the day. So this is Shanley Spence and the hoop dance. Hoka! Hooka, let's hear it for Shanley. Right on, right on. Beautiful dancing, beautiful dancing. Are you enjoying the show so far? That's what I like to hear. Man, right on, right on. Well, now we're going to showcase our gentlemen in the house. First and foremost, we're going to be calling up our grass dancer. This is Michael Esquash Jr. Let's give him a round of applause. This is actually one of my youngest sons, and he's been grass dancing since he could walk. And I can attest to that because I was there. 21 years ago. So this dance here, in our language, we call it Muskase Niniok. the dance that honors the grass. And some of you might wonder why we honor the grass. The grass is important because in that grass is where the animals go and get their nutrition and sustenance. The buffalo, the elk, the deer, the moose, many animals use that grass, in which we in turn use those animals for nutrition for ourselves. You see, a long time ago, we didn't have Walmart and Superstore. Walmart and Superstore was on 4 legs and they had horns. So we had to go and get them. We had to hunt, we had to gather. This dance here as well acknowledges in that grass is where the medicines are. That is where they grow. To this day, even though we go to doctors, they give us pills and syrups and stuff, it originates still from Mother Earth. Everything we get from Mother Earth. So this dance here acknowledges Mother Earth and all she gives us. So this is the grass dance. Spirit hands if you would. Let's hear it. One of the things I wanted to mention was this as well. When we dance, when we use the drum, when we sing and dance and do our culture and our traditions, you know, we never allow or include alcohol or drugs. You must be in a good, solid, balanced nature. You know, when you dance, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. Some of these outfits that they are wearing is about 20 to 40 pounds of extra weight while they're dancing. So you see, us First Nations people, we don't have yoga, we don't have Pilates, we have Pow Wow. Yeah, so if you want to get in shape, dance Pow Wow. Right on, right on. Next, I'm going to be calling up this young man here, Camden Scribe. And this young man here is by way of Loon Lake, Saskatchewan. He is what we call in our language Okichitani Mead, our warrior dancer, our young man's traditional dancer. This dance here is one that acknowledges and honors Atsukana, Kidimasums, the grandfather, ancestors. It honors the warriors of the past. It honors the warriors of the present as well. He represents those hunters, the ones that are tracking the animals we need to survive, or he is tracking and looking for the medicines we need to heal. These dances, well, you know, these outfits you see, they're very important. We do not just pick colors because they look pretty. All these colors and all these items that these dancers have importance and meaning and representation to each one of them. So again, we acknowledge these things because every one of these dancers is different. They have their own styles, their own ways of doing things. So it's a very beautiful thing to see. So this young man here, Camden, come all the way from Saskatchewan. That's a long ways away, and he's here to dance for you. So if you would, Spirit Sands, a song for Camden. Hooka! it for Camden. Woo! Beautiful dancing, beautiful dancing. Right on, right on. Next we have our final dancer here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, actually. Yep, it's still morning. So, we have Mr. Howard Roulette by way of Sandy Bay, Ojibwe Nation. Let's give him a round of applause. And today, Howard is dancing the Woodland Dance. The Woodland Dance category is making a great comeback now. It is one of the dances that was laid dormant for quite a long time. And now it's making its way back. It comes from the eastern area of Turtle Island. And this dance here is what the forest warriors would wear and dress as they would hunt, as they would track the enemies. This dance here is one of those very stoic and very tough dances. And again, you know, Howard does this dance so well. Actually, Howard is a champion dancer in many categories as well. But Howard is one of our headman dancers this weekend here at Manito Ahbee. And all these dancers here are going to be here this weekend at Manito Ahbee, starting tomorrow and Sunday. So, you know, get your parents, bring you all back here and come here and visit us all weekend. You're going to see all different kinds of dancers. You're going to hear different drums, singers, lots of food, craft booths, all that stuff. So make sure you come back here this weekend to Manito Ahbee. So this dance here again is the Woodland Dance. It is a powerful, strong dance. And this is Mr. Howard Roulette. Spirit Sands, if you would. Hucka! If you like what you see, put your hands together. Woo! Yeah. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we really appreciate, you know, being asked to come here to showcase our dance styles, but also to share with you why we do what we do. You know, if we had to really explain every dance style and every category, we'd probably be here one day per dancer. There's so much history, so much culture, teachings behind why we do what we do as First Nations people. But one of the biggest things about powwow is this, you know. We come here to sing for life. We come here to dance for life. To us, in our ways, dancing and singing is a way of showing appreciation for the life we have. And we think sometimes, you know, we always have to be grateful that we can, you know, the very simple things in life, you know, the fact of breathing, the fact of vision, the fact of hearing, the fact of movement. Because, you know, there's so many out there that can't do those things that wish they could. So we must give our thanks. And through song and dance, this is how we are showing creation. We are showing that we are grateful for life and the ability we have to sing and dance. So again, and these dancers and these singers, we're not singing for ourselves or we're not dancing for ourselves. We are singing and dancing for all those that are watching, for all those that are within earshot or can hear the drum or feel the beat. because we love life. Manito Ahbee, we love good life, and we want to share that with each and every one of you. And we hope, you really enjoyed and got that good feeling today from the songs, from the drum, from the dances here. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, we are all related. We are all the same. We may look different on the outside, different hair color, different eye color, but that doesn't matter because we all have our heart. We all have the spirit of life within us. So again, this is why we do what we do, because we share our way as First Nations people, how we celebrate life. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are going to be dancing our dancers out the door, and we will say thank you again for being here with us today. We hope you enjoyed Pow Wow 101, and if you want to learn more, just ask. Just ask, because we love to share our culture and our way of doing what we do. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll dance them out, and we'll say, Miigwech, thank you. Kigawapin Minawa means we will see you again. We don't have goodbye in our language. We will see you again. And hopefully we'll see you at Manito Ahbee tomorrow and Sunday. So with that, let's take them home, spirits hands. Haka! Have a good day.
Can we give a huge round of applause for our Pow Wow 101 hosts, the dancers, and that powerful drum group? That certainly lifted the energy and spirits in the room.
See, guys, that was more than just a lesson. It was ceremony, a teaching, and a celebration of who we are and where we all come from.
You don't just show up. They showed us spirit behind every movement, every beat, and every piece of regalia.
So your dancers, some of the people I grew up with, your strength, your grace, and your pride, it moved us. You carried tradition today with so much heart and beauty, and we're thankful for your presence today.
To the drum group who brought the heartbeat of our people into this space, that sound is ancient. It connects us, grounds us, and reminds us that we're never in this alone.
And to our Pow 101 host, Dekshi Michael Esquash, thank you for your teachings, your guidance, and the way you made everyone feel welcome, whether it was their first time learning or they've grown up with Pow as a part of their life.
You reminded us that culture is living and that every one of us has a place in this circle when we come with respect, with open hearts, and most importantly, with love.
Again, Nina Wopira, thank you for sharing your gifts with us.
So, let's carry that energy into the rest of our day together, because NextGen, this is what it's all about.
Okay, so, sorry. I had 3 microphones confiscated, but I got another one. Shout out to my buddy Mitch from Mitch's Microphones in Long Plain First Nation. Thank you for the hookup. Appreciate that. Crowd shots, yeah. You can stand up, do whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, listen. No joke. This has been so unbelievably well organized. To all those behind the scenes, everyone who put this all together, you absolutely crushed this. It is like one of the smoothest things, and I've done lots of different events. Everyone wearing headsets, all the volunteers. You did an amazing job. And then also, it's just so fitting. Like, so Ayana did all the writing, right? Like all the scripts and everything, okay? And Ayana, this is literally what I would say in this moment, and you wrote it. So Ayana and I didn't know each other, just met today. She wrote the script, and it's this. And Ayana, it's so perfect because I believe in this so strongly. But everyone, every single one of you deserves to feel seen. All people deserve to feel seen and valued and respected, and that's what today is. And so to everyone who played a part in making today happen, you absolutely crushed it. Now, this probably should have occurred to me earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and shut up and leave it to the professionals. Y'all are crushing it, by the way. Unbelievable, Sophia, Tracy, love you.
Yeah, you know what? You're officially the most lovable interrupter of all time, Ace. Don't worry about it.
That's not bad, I'll take it.
Thank you for always bringing your heart and your humor to every single moment. We really do love you.
Yeah. All right, NextGen, let's keep the momentum going.
As our day continues, we now turn to the final direction of the medicine wheel, the white quadrant, which represents the north.
The white quadrant symbolizes wisdom, clarity, and reflection. It's the stage of life where we look back with understanding and look forward with purpose.
It's a space of spiritual connection, a place where truth lives, where our teachings settle in our hearts, and where we begin to truly know who we are.
It reminds us that the journey of empowerment doesn't stop, it deepens. And that's the energy our next guest carries in every space she enters.
She's a proud Indigenous woman, a trailblazer, and a role model, not just here at home, but on the international stage. Her presence challenges stereotypes, her confidence breaks barriers, and her voice uplifts youth across Turtle Island.
She's not only a force in the fashion world, she's a storyteller, a community builder, a fierce advocate for Indigenous representation, for beauty, and for strength.
We are honored to welcome someone who walks with grace, wisdom, and boldness. Someone who reminds us that no matter where you go and where we go, we carry our ancestors with us.
NextGen, please help us in welcoming the incredible Heather Diamond Armstrong.
Heather Diamond Strongarm is a 20-year-old Saulteaux Cree woman from Fishing Lake First Nation in Treaty 4 territory. She loves to bead, sew, and dance old-style jingle. She's an international model and has been modeling for 4 years. When she was 16, she went to a modeling workshop on her reserve, and little did she know that her career would take off from there. After the workshop, she got a call from the facilitator asking if she was interested in going to Calgary, Alberta, to take digitals and learn more about the industry. The next week after that call, she went with a group of girls from her reserve. After the photo shoot, the photographers sent the photos across Canada and to her mother agency, A&M Management, in Toronto, and they scouted her. A few weeks later, the Society Management in New York and Elite Modeling Agency Worldwide signed her. She began modeling and doing campaigns for several companies across Canada. The highlight was for companies such as Dean Davidson and Smite, who gave back to organizations to help support Indigenous youth and arts. At age 17, she got to walk for runway shows in New York, Paris, Milan, and London. She was fortunate to open the fashion show for Christian Dior, which is a very monumental moment in her career in runway. In 2023, she won the Fresh Face of the Year award at the Canadian Arts and Fashion Awards.
Anine, hello. Thank you all so much for coming today. I'm really honored to be speaking here today with you guys. My name is Heather Diamond Strongarm, and I'm 20 years old. I'm a proud Saulteaux Cree woman, and I'm from Fishing Lake First Nation in Treaty 4 territory, Saskatchewan. I'm an international runway model and an old-style jingle dress dancer. Both of these roles are very important to me. They represent two very different worlds, but both are deeply connected to who I am and where I come from. I grew up, my roots run deep, wait, sorry. I grew up in my home fishing lake First Nation, and my roots run deep in that land, and it's a place that continues to shape me and keep me grounded no matter where I am in the world. Growing up, I always dreamed of becoming a model. I would watch runway shows on TV and read fashion magazines, wishing that it was me one day. I didn't know how to begin, wait. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first time doing a presentation in front of people, so I'm a little nervous. I always dreamed of becoming a model, and I didn't know if it was possible, especially for a little res girl like me, and I never knew where to begin. Everything started to change when I was 16 years old. I heard that there was going to be a modeling workshop in my community, and I was really excited because I didn't know how else to start with modeling. And yeah, when the day came of the workshop, one of my relatives offered to drive me to the workshop. And then on the way there, our car broke down, so I had to walk the rest of the way to the workshop. And yeah, when I arrived there, the workshop was already happening. And yeah, so I had to take photos of myself and show them how I walked. And yeah, I thought that was it. I thought that was all that the workshop had to offer, so I went back home. And when I was home, my mom got a call from the lady who was running the workshop, and she asked my mom if I could go to Calgary with them for a few days, and my mom instantly said yes. And then about a week later, we drove to Calgary and we took photos with the photographer, and he asked my mom if he could send them to agencies across Canada. And so my mom said yes. We instantly said yes. And yeah, the next day we went back home to our community with with our grandma. My grandma came with us. And yeah, after I got home, we got a call from an agency in Toronto named A&M Management, and they were interested in scouting me. So me and my mom instantly said yes when they asked to scout me. And yeah, about a few days later, they asked if they could send photos across to the United States for so I could do modeling internationally and runway. And my mom said yes, and then a week later, we had so many Zoom call meetings with different agencies across the United States. And yeah, about a week later, I was scouted by the Society Management in New York. And yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, sorry. It was a huge moment for me and the first major step into the world of professional modeling. Not long after I signed the agency, yeah. They were impressed with my potential and wanted to represent me. From that point on, I spent the next year and a half building and refining my modeling portfolio. This meant by doing test shoots, practicing poses, practicing my walk, and gaining as much experience as I could to prepare for the next step. Then, a month before I turned 18, my New York agents decided that I was officially ready to start doing runway. In 2023, I walked my very first fashion show in New York for Proenza Sculer. It was an unforgettable experience. Stepping onto the runway for the first time, it felt like a dream come true. After New York, I went to walk in Milan and Paris Fashion Week. During Paris, I had the incredible honor of becoming the first model with an indigenous background to open a Dior show. Thank you. That moment was deeply, That moment was deeply meaningful to me, not only as a model, but also as someone representing my community on a global stage. Since then, I've continued to walk the runways for Michael Kors, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, and Ralph Lauren. Each show brings me new challenges and excitement, and I'm grateful every day for how far this journey has taken me. But beyond the glamour and fast-paced energy of the runway, I've also found myself on a more personal, internal journey. It is said that the northern aspect of the medicine wheel deals with the spiritual. As an introvert who has struggled with social anxiety, it was incredibly difficult for me to open up and form meaningful connections with others. For a long time, I coped by isolating myself and avoiding social situations and staying in my own comfort zone. I often felt lonely and I didn't know how to reach out or express that I needed support. Over time, I realized that in order to grow and take care of my mental health, I had to actively challenge those tendencies. I began teaching myself how to take small but meaningful steps towards connection, like texting your friend to hang out, joining group activities even when I felt nervous, or simply pushing myself to leave my hotel room rather than staying in all day. It wasn't easy, and it's still a work in progress, but I've learned that by reaching out when I feel isolated, it can make a huge change. By slowly building these habits, I've become more comfortable in social settings and better at taking care of my emotional well-being. I use sage and smudge when I need to, which allows me to clear any negativity away when I may be harboring inside or around me. In exploring the eastern side of the medicine wheel, I've come to understand the importance of taking care of myself physically. This aspect of the wheel emphasizes new beginnings, personal growth, and the dawn of awareness, which for me has meant learning how to maintain my physical well-being. One of the most important changes I made was setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. Establishing a regular sleep routine has helped me feel more energized and focused throughout the day. I realize how important it is to spend time outside, especially taking myself out for regular walks. Getting fresh air and moving my body not only improves my physical health, but also helps me feel less isolated. In addition to walking, I've committed to working out more often, whether that means stretching, doing light exercises at home, or going to the gym. These activities mean stretching, doing light exercises at home, or going to the gym. These activities have become essential for both of my physical and mental well-being. Through this journey, I've learned that taking care of my body is a vital step toward achieving balance in all areas of my life. The southern aspect of the medicine wheel deals with the mental side of health. This is where I learned that the importance of taking time for myself in a way that nurtures my mind and spirit. For me, this meant engaging in activities that allow me to slow down and center my thoughts. Whether it was reading a book, picking medicine, sewing, or beading, I found these activities to be grounding. Each of these practices offers me a chance to clear my mind, process my emotions, reconnect with myself on a deeper level. Over time, I realized that dedicating this time for my mental self-care is essential for achieving overall balance and maintaining my well-being. Lastly, the Western aspect of emotional well-being encompasses self-expression, self-esteem, coping mechanisms, maintaining a positive attitude, healthy relationships, and emotional adjustment. Journaling serves as my primary method of processing emotions, and when overwhelmed, I resort to deep breathing or guided meditations to center myself. By incorporating these practices into my daily routine, I actively work towards staying emotionally balanced. While it may not always be perfect and some days may be more challenging than others, this process represents the journey of emotional healing and growth. Incorporating the wisdom of the medicine wheel into my daily life has been a transformative journey, particularly when it comes to understanding and nurturing my emotional health. By embracing practices like journaling, deep breathing, and mindful reflection, I've learned to process my emotions with greater awareness and compassion. While emotional balance is an ongoing practice, sometimes challenging, sometimes rewarding, each step I take brings me closer to greater self-awareness and healing. The Western aspect of the medicine wheel reminds me that emotional growth is a continual process, and one that requires patience, self-compassion, and a commitment to understanding and expressing my feelings. Through these practices, I strive to cultivate emotional resilience, positive relationships, and a deeper sense of peace within myself. Thank you all for listening to me, and yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
Please join me in showing a lot of love. It's really nerve-wracking to come up on stage and speak to a bunch of people that you don't know, but your story is important. So thank you, Heather. That was a very beautiful message.
Heather, thank you for standing in your truth and reminding us all, and especially our young people, that our confidence is built on our culture, identity, and knowing exactly who we are.
Your presence today was powerful. You reminded us that we belong in every space, on every stage, on the runway, in leadership, in our communities, especially when we carry our roots with pride.
Piramaya, Heather, thank you for lighting that fire in our spirits today.
Now, I can see and hear you're getting a little bit antsy. I just want to kindly ask to please remain in your assigned seating and to keep your conversations to a minimum. We have a very exciting performance as we move into wrapping up our day. So, we have arrived at the closing moment of this beautiful gathering together. But don't get too comfortable, because the next performer is really going to move you, literally and emotionally.
Joining us to close out NextGen is the most incredible dynamic duo whose talents cross generations, cultures, and art forms.
Joining us to close out NextGen is the most incredible way in a dynamic, oh, that's your line. There you go. I was gonna say that with confidence. First, we welcome Shanley Spence, an internationally renowned hoop dancer whose movements are not just performance, but prayer. She carries the stories of creation, healing, and connection through each circle she weaves.
Alongside her is the brilliant MJ Dandino, a powerhouse Métis musician who brings rhythm, emotion, and soul into everything she plays. Her music grounds the spirit and lifts the heart.
Together, they're going to leave us with a performance that speaks without words and echoes far beyond this space.
So open your hearts, feel the drum beat, and take in the teachings. Please welcome Shanley Spence and MJ Dandino.
Make some noise if you feel you love it! Shanley Spence! She's been doing it since she's 13 years old. Give it this big shout out! Woo!
I thought mine was. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Make some noise if you fab. You're proud of being Indigenous. Culture is power. Wear it loud. Be proud. Be loud. Be you. Woo! 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 Woo!
Did you guys have fun? Are you guys proud? Are you guys loud? Are you guys loud? What? Should we keep this beat? Yeah? Am I finishing it? Yeah. This beat is for the land, the people, and you.
Wow. What a way to end the day. Can we please give it up one more time for Shanley Spence and MJ Danino for that powerful performance?
It's hard to put into words what today has meant, guys. I know we've laughed, we've reflected, we've learned, and most of all, we've connected.
We want to take a moment to give our deepest thanks to the amazing sponsor who helped make this day possible, the Northwest Company. Your support has helped us bring this vision to life and helped give space for young Indigenous youth to rise.
To our teachers and our mentors, thank you for being the ones who walks alongside the youth every single day. Your guidance and belief in them matters more than we can express.
To our volunteers, you are the quiet heroes of this event. From registration to setup, from backstage to behind the scenes, you kept everything running smoothly with heart and dedication.
And to our incredible event crew, tech, lighting, sound, coordination, you made this stage feel just like home, and you brought this vision to life. We see you, and we thank you.
And I want to give an acknowledgement to the youth who is the heart and the visionary that makes all of this possible. Ayanna Hart is behind a screen making sure everything runs smoothly, but we feel it's important to acknowledge her hard work. Today couldn't be made possible without her, so please give it up for Ayanna. And on that note, to every young person, like those right here, who showed up today, this event is for you. But it was also made stronger because of you. Your energy, your voices, and your presence. It matters.
NextGen is more than just a one-day event. It's a movement. A reminder that Indigenous youth are not just the leaders of tomorrow, but are the leaders of today.
So, please, leave here proud. Leave here inspired, and most importantly, leave here knowing that you belong in every room, in every circle, and in every single future you choose to build.
Until next time, guys, take care of your spirit, lift each other up, and never stop shining your light. Thank you, NextGen. We love you.
I got what you want, I got what you need. All you gotta do is pray for me. Tell me I'm beautiful, tell me I'm powerful. All you gotta do is say to me that you wanna spend your whole life in the ocean, safe in the sea. If you wanna show me your devotion, come with me. 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 Let's go. Kelly Fraser. Sedna.
nothing to do but believe. Just believe.